Everybody loves a good show, and the after party is where we celebrate that show. Imagine that life is the show.
Join us, Tam and Porschia, at the after party where we'll celebrate life, the good, the bad,
and the ugly. This is where things get real, because that's life, and we're going to keep it real.
And if you want to laugh, cry, and be real, this is the show for you.
Come party with us.
Hey, Tam.
Hey, Porschia. Hey, party goers.
Hello.
We are here once again to have this conversation. And as promised in the last episode, we are going to be talking about what traits can hinder or ruin a relationship.
Yes.
What are some negative traits that could hinder a relationship or cause it to fail? I kind of feel like this is the same as saying what are some of the red flags that we ignore that ultimately cause the relationship to fail. Do you agree with that, Portia?
I do agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's kind of in the same vein because if it will hinder or ruin a relationship and you know to look out for these things, then you can look out for these red flags and hopefully save yourself some heartache if you choose not to ignore them, which we know that we all sometimes do ignore.
You know, it happens.
It does happen. But anyway, karaoke break!
Hey.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Dev? I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Oh, yeah. Break it down. Girl, I must warn you.
Hey!
I sense something strange in my mind.
Hey.
Yeah. Situation is serious. Let's kill it, cause we're running out of time.
Hey!
It's all so relationships they seem from the start. Yeah.
And then
It's all so when love is not together from the heart.
hey!
Check it out.
It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to that girl is
Period.
Portia was having a really good time.
That always gets the crowd moving.
It gets the people going.
Yes.
It's provocative. Anyway.
Yes.
Y'all, thank y'all for joining us and allowing us to have our little karaoke moments. But anyway, it's so apropos. Like, these things can be poisonous to the relationship. These red flags. But Portia, guess who came to party with us? We have a business spotlight today.
Okay.
This company does t-shirts and tumblers, and she even do puzzles, child. Anyway, she do all the things. And so she has been doing t-shirts for us, t-shirts for me, and t-shirts for a lot of people I know locally. So let's give it up for Jim This Too.
Hey! Yes.
That was so good. Oh my goodness.
So
Listen,
cute.
if y'all know anybody that needs any of these products, please, please, please direct them to her TikTok. She's on TikTok. She's on Facebook. She's on IG. Y'all look for my girl Gem Fist too, okay?
Yes.
So that you maybe I might get another good friend discount. Anyway.
Thank you so much, Jim. Your products are amazing. And I look forward to you dropping the after party line.
The after party line, y'all know it's coming, right? We've been telling y'all it's on the way, so it's coming. Be looking out. So, Portia, let's party. Let's get into it. But first, before we do, I'm gonna say y'all what I'm sipping on because my girl Kia brought this wine to me. It's Oliver, and it's a cherry Moscato.
How is it?
It smells delicious, and let's take a little sip. Yeah, I'm gonna drink this whole bottle.
Period. I love it. I just made me a little home lemon drop. So, that always get me trying to go to.
It gets the people going. That's what I heard.
Absolutely.
Period. So let's get into this. Hindered. What negative traits are hindering your relationship or can hinder your future relationship's success? Or what red flags should we be looking out for? Do you recognize hindrances or red flags? Which is very important. Learning what to look for and why they are harmful will help you recognize them and put an end to toxicity before the damage is done or before too much damage is done. Red flags are warning signs. Warning, warning. That indicate unhealthy or manipulative behaviors. What are some red flags or hindrances? According to our party goers, child, they had a list because we polled them and we asked, and they gave a lot of things to say.
Yes.
So I'm going to get started. They said alcoholism. I'm going to save my comments for the end. Insecurities. Lack of self-control. Differing dreams and goals.
Yes.
Lying, cheating, and bullshit drama. That's what they said. I didn't say it, they said.
I agree.
Stubbornness and rigidness. They said that to me a whole lot. Anyway, no compromise. Not being able to compromise. Crowding your space. Difference in religious beliefs. Family ties and relationships. Child, they don't like Aunt Susie. Children. The way people express themselves.
Damn.
And expecting you out of others. That one was deep. What you think?
Is there any is there anything not that's all the things. That's all the things that could hinder a relationship. But that's so true. Like any one of those things could hinder your relationship or your efforts of trying to build a relationship. So it's very important to map out all of these things before you enter a relationship, for sure. That's crazy. I'm like, what? Did it not name something?
The thing is that because we're saying that these things also could be recognized as red flags, if you're paying attention in the early dating phases of a relationship, you should be able to recognize some of these things, or especially know when it doesn't jive with the way you like to move in life, because maybe it's not necessarily a negative thing for them. it just doesn't mesh well with how you move. So you should be paying attention to those things. If a person is an alcoholic, surely that could cause issues going forward. And if this is something that you can recognize early on, maybe that's something you might decide, I don't really want to deal with that long term.
Yeah.
If a person has a lot of insecurities, who wants to spend their entire life trying to convince someone that they're greater than they think they are? Like, that could really be an issue because it speaks to something deeper that you may not be qualified to heal or fix, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that they gave us a really good list.
Yeah.
And it's certainly something that people could build upon, because all of these things certainly could be red flags if you are paying attention.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But you have to be paying attention.
That part. Be in tune enough to know that this is something that you're unwilling to compromise on, essentially.
Absolutely.
But most times we don't even be knowing what our hindrances could be. Or, oh, I'm easygoing, I'm flexible, I can kind of maneuver any situation, I'm adaptable, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But then something pops out like the differing in dreams and goals. Well, I'm okay with her doing that, and I'm okay with him doing that. And then y'all get to going, and like, well, actually, I'm not okay because I didn't think about how much this would entail of your time, your efforts, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, it's you got to really look in depth into these things, not just surface level stuff. You got to really go in depth.
And what about this lack of self-control?
Baby, are we gonna run it down? Let's run it down, child.
Let's run it down. I mean, if you cannot control yourself as a grown-ass adult, what are we talking about? I don't want to parent anyone, and that's for sure.
Yeah.
You can tell your 5-year-old to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot control yourself, and you can't even recognize it, because some people that lack self-control, they don't even recognize that these things are issues.
Yeah. They don't because they think it's the norm. It's okay. I've been behaving this way. Nobody ever checked me on it before. Who are you trying to now come in here and tell me what I'm doing is not right, it's inappropriate, and all this type of stuff? But you also, again, it's the lack of self-awareness for me, because I'm sure if you've been behaving this way, people around you have been like off-put by your behavior and probably don't want to hang around you that often. And when they do, they like, please don't, not today. Or, careful, like walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around you and stuff like that. And you may be looking at it like, oh, they respect me, they fear me, or whatever your ego needs in that moment. But the reality is they don't want to be bothered with your old dumbass. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just, don't nobody got time. Like, I don't know. But they
their old dumbass, apparently, and don't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time. And they tolerate your behavior because of maybe familiar reasons, or well, he's good at this or she's good at that, but the reality is not giving what it needs to give. Sorry, I don't know. But I don't have time for that. I definitely don't have time for that. I have a hard enough time trying to get my 7 and 4-year-old together. And also myself. I don't have time to be trying to get you together too, sir.
Absolutely.
I can't.
And I definitely don't want to deal with no lying, cheating.
Liar, you cheater, I forgot the words, whatever. Heartbreaker. Yeah. That.
Yeah. Don't nobody listen. At this stage in my life, like, I just want happiness. And if you're lying to me, oh my God, I cannot stand a liar. Nothing burns my britches more than a liar. I cannot stand it. Because there's absolutely no reason for it.
It's none.
Be honest. Tell me the truth. Let me decide how much of it I can take and how much of it I don't want to deal with. But I know people. I know this girl.
Oh.
Who be lying about nothing all the time.
Yep.
At this big age, it's like everybody just be sitting there like nobody believes anything you're saying. It's just it's for nothing. She might see this, and I don't even give a fuck. One day, I just gotta say it. One day we're out. I was out. I was grocery shopping, minding my own business. She called me. What you doing? I said, I'm at the grocery store. She was like, which store? I told her which store. She's like, I'm going to stop by there because I took my weave out and I want you to see how long my hair has gotten. I was like, okay.
That could have been a video. That could have been a picture.
Well, she had a flip phone. Anyway, the whole point is that she came. So now when she see this shit, she really gonna know I'm so hard.
Oh God, I'm so. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Go on.
She came to the store. You can see the track right here. You can see it.
You're lying.
Now I'm the liar.
Now you're the liar. There's no way. There's no way. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm goddamn serious.
What?
Why? What was the purpose of this lie? Like, the thing, here's the point of it all is that her hair was actually long. The tracks were probably more so fillers because she was losing some hair in some places. But don't come to me and say I took my weave out.
Did you bust her out and say I could see?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're such a nice friend.
Am I though? Because I feel like sometimes you should be like, girl, stop lying. I feel like sometimes you do your friends a disservice when you don't confront them, but also because I'm known as the person to always be confronting folk. Sometimes I don't want to do that.
It's exhausting.
I would just rather you be honest with me so we don't have to go through that.
Don't put me in that
But anyway.
in the first place. That I have to go along with your lie.
And y'all, I guess what I'm saying in the long and short of it, besides the fact I don't like liars, is that these red flags and these hindrances, it doesn't have to kill just romantic relationships. It could also ruin friendships because there is no way that I'm going to continue skipping down the road with somebody that lies to me.
That part. Yep. That's it. That's it right there. It applies to all relationships for sure. And that's why some people get caught up again in like the parental aspect of it. Like, oh, that's my mama. She a liar. Like, whatever. That's still my mama. I still got it. No, we don't. You know what I'm saying? It's people, like, for real. You know, it's a lot of people out here that got messed up relationships with their parents. It's people, and they be like, I know what she is, I know what he is, but I gotta tolerate it because that's my parent. No, I don't think you don't. I don't think you do. I think if anything is a detriment to you, you have to protect you. Like, I don't know. And especially after that's been the thing, how they've been operating with you all your life. Like, you grown now, you don't have to tolerate that foolishness. And you can kind of, I don't want to say force, but you can kind of like help the relationship along by standing your ground and saying, listen, I know you like to tell stories. Now, you ain't got to do all that with me. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. Had a conversation with them to kind of like set a new tone, hopefully. And if they unwilling to change, then sorry. You hindered our relationship by being a liar. I can't tolerate that. It's annoying. Yeah, like I don't know what you want me
It's
to
very
do.
annoying. It's nothing worse. Well, maybe it is worse things, but I personally really cannot deal with a liar because I can almost take most anything else if it starts with the truth. I can almost deal with anything if it starts with the truth. But if
Yeah.
you're starting out with a lie, listen, it's not for me.
And all of those things are
Not for me.
correlated. The lying to the
The
cheating,
lying,
to
the
the bullshit
cheating,
drama, like it's all in one. It's like a step to
it
another
goes
step to
together.
another step. Like, and that's the problem with that particular friend that you were talking about. Because if you can lie about something so stupid, something so minute, like how can I trust you with anything ever? Like that's
Absolutely.
not. We're not even friends at this point. You're an acquaintance. You're somebody I know. I happen to know. Like I don't know
Yes.
what you want me to do with that.
Mama used to always say, if you lie, you cheat, you steal, you
Yep.
kill.
Yep. It's a I don't it's not a cycle. What is it? Well, I don't know. I would be losing my thoughts. I got kids. Anyway, um yes.
Yeah, it is. Listen, okay?
I got
Shit
kids.
happens. She's still claiming baby brain.
For
After
real. 4 years
old.
later.
The kid is 17 years old. I don't know shit. What do you think about stubbornness and rigidness?
Oh yeah, I can't stand it. Stubbornness is actually on my list. And I guess it goes into the having walls up because if you have walls, because that's another thing on my list, somebody that has walls up or that's closed off. Because I feel like when you're rigid, that's really how you are. Like you be real cold, real like I don't pass this point because those walls that you have up, those I don't even know if they boundaries. I don't think they even boundaries. I just think it's because of your unhealed state that you are that way. But the stubbornness of it all, I don't like it because you're uncompromising. You're unable to reach. Most people that are stubborn think they know it all and they're unwilling to hear your point of view or whatever or your side of things. So it's like I don't want. I don't. It's too much
I'm
energy to manage.
attacked because Juma had said that I was too rigid
Oh,
many times
oh.
when we were talking about me looking or wanting a relationship.
hmm
He said I was a little rigid.
But again, with the rigidness, that's because of your walls that you have up to protect you. You think?
Could be. I mean, I had a lot of I don't wants. And I think I still have those I don't wants.
I don't want. Yeah.
I feel like I'm softening.
hmm
But
What
but
just happened? What just happened?
I mean, I'm like, it's still, I'm trying to compromise, but I don't want to compromise in such a way that I'm now giving in to things that I know I totally don't want or that I know I cannot live with, and I'm just acquiescing to please someone else, and then ultimately I'll be unhappy. So I'm still trying to make sure that I'm not listening to the people that's saying I'm rigid or I have too many don't wants, and I'm trying to be realistic.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do think that I do have some rigidness. And when he told me that, nobody had quite used that terminology with me, but it definitely resonated with me. I was like, yeah, I am. Because as you just pointed out, and I didn't think of that, but because I've been through some things and I've seen some things and I've dealt with some things, and now it has made me realize the things that I absolutely do not want to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably has caused me to be a little bit rigid. Sorry.
But I think that's the thing, though. Like, and that's why I tell you, or I've told you before, like, you need to be clear on your boundaries in order for you to, like, it's steps to break down that rigidness. It's not that you want to be rigid. It's not like you purposely, like, nope, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, again, your circumstances have shaped you and formed this rigidness because of what you've been through. But I think you need to combat that with your boundaries. And the more you are clear on your boundaries and you stand firm in them to prevent certain things from transpiring again, and you can easily, like, just give them the key to unlock that door, or that to open the door to let that wall down, and you will be less rigid. But it's you don't have firm boundaries most times, and because you don't.
I think I do now.
You think you do now? Okay.
I think I do now.
Yeah.
I think I do now. I think that in the past I let emotion lead me. Um, in fact, that was a painful lesson that I learned in the past, that I ignored the red flags because I was leading with emotion. And it's so funny because this particular person was always telling me that women lead in emotion and men are more fact based, right? And I used to be like, okay, I can see that or whatever, but I didn't even realize he was talking to me. He was talking to me. But it was a lesson I learned, and I started saying, okay, I don't want to move that way anymore. Like, I want to walk into things with a much more clear picture. Okay, what are the facts? And then decide if I do want to attach my emotions to it. So I'm moving a lot slower these days so that I don't miss the red flags because I'm clouded by the emotion.
That's good. That's good. I agree. I agree. But that's something that you've had to learn, right? Like, it comes with experience.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. I mean, I think we all could be rigid essentially, but also I also can come off at times, because I feel like I try to be super open. It can kind of come off as naive. And so, again, those boundaries and knowing what you're willing to do and what's best for you and sticking firm to them so that you don't get taken advantage of, and so that it doesn't create more walls within you, you know what I'm saying, as a form of protection. So, yeah, I mean, listen, we all got our damn flaws. Okay. But I think the first step is always acknowledgement. At least you can acknowledge it, and you're willing to work through it and figure this thing out, right? But if somebody is stubborn purposefully and just like unwilling to budge, and they're super rigid and just like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, then that's a whole different story. Like, okay, I ain't got time or energy to waste on you, sir or ma'am. Please.
And I think it might be also, since we're on this, it might be important to say that you shouldn't just be looking at hindrances from others. You should be looking inward as well and figuring out what things you may be doing that are causing hindrances, that are waving around as red flags, that others might not want to deal with or may find problematic.
Yeah.
So you should not just be diagnosing others, checking yourself too.
Absolutely.
Which is why I brought up the fact that I was told that I was rigid, and that I had to really think about that and sit with it in my times when I was watching TV, you know. I had a lot to think about, and I did stay in the house for a little while and do some thinking and healing because I needed to. But anyway, so that I wouldn't be bringing bullshit drama to the next situation.
Right. That part.
Oh goodness. What about people crowding your space, not allowing you any personal space? How do you feel about that as a red flag?
I mean, I can be like, I just want to be with you all the time. Like, I could be like that. Because when I really enjoy somebody, that's just how I feel. But also, it has, again, boundaries. It has to have a cutoff, obviously, because realistically, you can't be with somebody all the time, be in their space at all times and all that type of stuff. Give people space to just breathe and be themselves and hang with their friends, or you, even if it is your friend and they want to hang with their other group of friends, give them space, give them that time to. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool to crowd people's space. I think we should be aware of somebody that may be trying to do that to you, that could potentially be a controlling aspect. Not so much as I just want to be with you. It's like I want to be with you to make sure that you ain't doing nothing or that you don't have time for nobody else, and that could come off as selfish and, again, controlling. So you gotta pay attention to stuff like that when it's become like borderline obsessive. Like, I want my man to be obsessed with me, but also be like, baby, you good. Go kick it with Tam. Y'all, I'll see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I also...
So what level of obsession are you looking for?
Right, I was just about to say. You be like, go ahead, have fun or whatever. And a few hours go by, I'll be like, hey, I was thinking about that ass. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Let me tell you, listen. I think I mentioned before that I dated this guy for a long time. And whenever I was hanging out with the girls, he would not contact me. And I hated that. I'm like, I'm thinking about you. You ain't thinking about me. Like, you don't want to send me a little note just to check on me. You want to make sure I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm safe. You still coming through? Do you miss me? Like, none of them. Girl, I ain't never get no sweet nothing. Well, let me not say never. In the beginning, it was all the hey pretty girls. Oh my God, I used to love those little texts.
Yeah.
That shit. As soon as he got me, I wasn't never pretty another day after that.
Oh shit.
I don't think that nigga ever complimented me another day after that, girl.
I'm curious who this is now. Anywho, but yeah, that is a thing. That is a thing. But yeah, I think you should pay attention to that for that purpose. But it also can be sweet when somebody's just like, I just want to be around you. I just really like you. I just, you know what I'm saying? I want to be thought of. I want you to, when I'm not around, like, oh, I smelled your perfume on this, and I thought about you, or oh, I saw, this, and I think that's cute, but not overbearing to the point of I need to know your every movement, every second of every day. That's one thing to share with a friend or a significant other. This is my day. I'm running it down from beginning to end. This is what I got planned, right? It's another thing for somebody needing you. Let me know when you made it here. Let me know where you at now, who you with, who all that. I don't know that person name. Who is that? What's going on? Right. Hey, calm down. Okay? It's enough.
Too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's nice to know that you're being thought of, that you're being cared for. If that is his love language, that he's going to be like, listen, I need you to check in with me. I had someone tell me, listen, when you're out, even though we're not together, I don't care what time it is. I need to get that text. So let me know you made it home safe. And even if I am sleeping, when I wake up, if I don't have that text, I'm going to be worried. It's nice to know that somebody is just concerned for you, right?
Yep.
But this whole, you got to be up under me every second, and you got to go where I go. You got to do what I do. You got to know who I know. Like, that's too much. That's
Way too much.
Now you're smothering me, sir.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
And it's like, why are you doing this? Is it because you are guilty of doing some stuff? Or are you
Yeah.
trying to control how, I move? Like, what's happening? I don't trust
It's borderline abusive.
It's borderline abusive.
Yeah.
It is. You got to be careful
get
with that. Somebody that just want to crowd your space.
Because they are trying to control you, for sure.
Absolutely.
And they will start manipulating you to the point that you'll just be like so fed up with all the check-ins and the extra shit the pop-ups, that you'll just stop going and you'll stop doing.
And sometimes,
which is their goal.
Exactly. And sometimes it starts off as a gradual, small thing, like, oh, I'm just checking in. They'll start small. It's never a quick, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's just little, small, gradual, and then it becomes more and more. You like, oh, this is so cute. I just, you got to be careful with it. Okay.
Which is why it's important to take your time so that you have time to ascertain whether or not these are red flags or if it's just cute little gestures.
Yep.
But if you give yourself time, you'll be able to pinpoint.
I always say, when you see people in multiple seasons, that's the most telling. You know what I'm saying? Let me see when I go out of town how you respond, how you're going to behave, opposed to when you're used to seeing me every other day or whatever. Or what if we go a week without seeing each other because our schedules are busy, whatever the situation may be. Let's see how you behave then. Or if I'm having a really, down moment and I need, let's see how you're going to respond to that. Are you still going to be requiring so much of me and wanting me to pour onto you? Like, hey, I told you I needed a breather. Are you going to honor your boundaries? What? Yeah, no. Girl, this next one.
Let the different religious beliefs.
I ain't going to be able. I'm going to need you to love my Lord Savior, Jesus Christ, His Father, and the Holy Spirit. And if not, I ain't going to be able. I don't know what else to do with that. I can't. We can't. I'm not. I don't. And I know other religions and religious practices and things like that. But I'm going to need it to be based in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And if it's not, I can't. I don't know. God bless you on your journey of finding someone. I don't know. I'm not it. You've definitely hindered me, sir. You've hindered.
Oh, God.
This blessing for being in your life. And it's no shade to nobody's religion. I want to be very clear. But I know what I am in my spirituality and my relationship with God. And that's what I believe. It's no way I can be in a relationship with somebody that is a hindrance for me. I want my children to be raised in my beliefs and stuff like that. Like, God is a central, like a main factor in my life. Like, there's no way you're going to come in here and be like, no, but this. No, but no. No. I can't.
Well,
I'll take one too.
once upon a time, Tammy met a guy.
Oh, story time.
Story time. Tammy met a guy that was a Jehovah's Witness.
Ooh. I'm intrigued.
He didn't tell me that.
Of course.
Right off the top. But how I found out was because I wanted to go to this religious play. And I kept saying, I want to go to this play. And he just was like, no. I'm sorry, what? Because I'm spoiled and I don't know what you mean.
Right.
He was like, you should go do that with your girlfriends. I was like, I want to go with you, sir. And so he was forced to reveal that he didn't want to go because he's Jehovah's Witness. And he doesn't believe in these things and he didn't want to go. And I was like, because at the time, I was the church secretary, okay, at the Baptist church. I was the director of the young adult choir, so I don't know what are we talking about here. And so in the beginning, I just didn't like. I already really liked him, and we were like hanging out for a few months at this point, and spending quite a lot of time together. So this information was shocking, and I kept saying, "How are we going to, move past this?" And he was like, "We just are." So for a while, it was something we almost didn't talk about. But then as we started getting more serious and really had like started talking about moving in together, then, we had to talk about this thing again. And then when it got close to talking about marriage, I was like, wait, because see, I'm not gonna, like, if you want to have children, I already have these two. Like, I'm not gonna have Christmas with these and not with this one, and like we can't do that. So how is this gonna work? And I mean, we came to a compromise. We had to compromise. We had to figure it out. We really, really did. We compromised and we decided that we would raise all the children the same, and they would continue to be raised in the church with me. He wasn't as involved by the time, he started seeing me, but because of how that religion is and how family is in that religion, they will disown you if you go against the church. And so he was very concerned about that. But eventually, he started going to church with me.
Well,
we were together for 20 years.
Exactly. I thought that's what you was talking about.
It was difficult for the family and all of that in the beginning, and they blamed me for everything. But he was a grown man and made his own decisions. And one day he was like, "Yeah, let's go to church." I didn't push it on him. I didn't force it on him. We just was respecting each other's boundaries all along the way. But after we had my son, he was like, let me go see what all this church hoopla is all about. Okay. Because at first I was packing up the kids, dragging baby bags and everything by myself. We joined church together, and he got us really heavily involved, and it was a good time for us. And like, even when we started having difficulties in the marriage, he was the one that wanted to go to counseling, spiritual counseling, like the whole nine. I didn't want to go to counseling, but anyway, God bless you. So there was that. But anyway, so the point is that differing religious beliefs, I understand why it is a hindrance or could be a hindrance, but I don't know if it has to be.
I guess it depends on where you are in your faith walk and all of that. And I do believe people can compromise. Some people convert for the person that they love. And if I was talking to someone that would be open to converting, then I might consider. But if you're not open to converting and you're like diehard about your faith and your religious beliefs as I am, then I already know it's not going to work. Like, I'm not even going to put in that work for that. Like, it's not.
Well, he claimed to be diehard when we first got together, but he also was diehard about me. He was unwavering when it came to me. And so as long as he wasn't keeping me from my beliefs, I felt like it was something we could work through. And we did, because ultimately that had nothing to do with our breakup.
Right.
It really had nothing to do with the reason why we ended. So yeah, I think for me, because of that experience, I am not as strong on the different religious beliefs. I know what they say, and I know, the church is always preaching you shouldn't be unequally yoked. But the thing is that you never know why the Lord has placed someone in your life or you in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And so he may have placed me with him to bring him to Christianity and bring him to the Lord. So, like, if I dismissed that right away, then I would have missed the opportunity to witness to him and bring him to the Lord. So for me, that wouldn't be a red flag. But I do understand why it could be a red flag for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with the man for 20 years, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Anyway, family ties and relationships. Now that there was something else though. It's family.
That is a religious practice. People with their families, child.
God bless it.
No matter how toxic, no matter how disappointing, no matter how much they've torn you down, been no good, that's still my family. That's still my family.
It's still your family.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I would, and that would be a hindrance for me if your family is so toxic and unwilling to grow and all that type of stuff. I would be like, I mean, you don't have to necessarily be a product of that. I mean, you are, but it's like if you're not on that same level as them. But what we're not going to do is allow them to try to come in and run our. That's not what we're going to do. Okay, I'm never going to be that girl. And even when I see my friends go through things with their families or whatever, I be feeling some type of way because I love my friend, right? I don't want you to be hurt by their practices and things like that. And what I have definitely learned in these last few years is that everybody that's your blood ain't family. I'm biologically related to them. You're a relative, but that don't mean you're necessarily my family. And I can build my own family by way of marriage or by way of friendships or whatever. Like I can choose who I want to call my family if that's what I want to do. I don't need our blood to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Our DNA to be the same. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not here for any unhealthy relationship. And if your family is that, I ain't gonna be happy.
I think you also have to pay attention to family ties and family relationships because you know that whole the apple don't fall far from the tree. And I'm saying they could be totally different because I feel like I often say that I think I was switched at birth. But anyway, so you definitely can be different than your family, but you probably do need to pay attention. Yeah, but you probably should be paying attention just in case that apple didn't fall too far from the tree. If you feel like they are toxic or exhibiting toxic behaviors, then it's quite possible that your significant other may have some of that like very deep. So you just should be paying attention. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's him. And then, like, do you listen? I broke up with a man because I was like, I cannot marry your mama.
That part. It's the
I was like, you know what?
It's the unhealthy relationships. Like, no.
I could not have her be in my life in that way. And let me tell you something, she's still in my life. But because I am not his woman, our relationship is different.
Yep.
But as his woman, the relationship was crazy. She was involved in everything. I thought I went with her too. It was just too much. And I recognized that as a very young girl that I knew it was something I didn't want to be a part of. I think that man would have done everything possible to give me a good life, and she would have been all up in the mix. And I didn't want to.
Tammy, this is what we got planned for you, okay? Come on, get the book and show her what I did now. Come over here.
Coming in, decorating his other girlfriend's house. I ain't got the type of personality. Your mama not about to become running nothing over here. So, I want you to have a close relationship with your mother. I want to see that you treat her with the utmost respect, that you go over there and see about her and make sure she's good. I want all of that. Because let me tell you something, I'm also going to be going over there and checking on your mama and making sure she's good.
That part.
But also, she can't run my house, though. She's not going to be able to tell me what to do now.
That part.
We're not doing that. We can have a great, wonderful, loving relationship with respect and boundaries. But she ain't going to be coming over here decorating my house now.
Tell Miss Mildred, I'm going to need you to stay over there. She got it.
Man, mama's name got Mildred.
That's an old name. They naming people Mildred still? Hell no.
I don't think, girl.
Tell Miss Millie, stay her A over there.
You know, I think boys' moms are worse at this than girls' moms. But mothers, period, especially, be out of control. Sometimes daddies be out of control, you know, that daddy little girl situation and all of that kind of thing. But I think it's mainly mamas that be doing the most.
Well, most times it's because the mamas be the primary parent. We got much more. I don't want to sound like if the father is present and in the home and doing his part that he doesn't carry as much weight, but also most situations or some situations when the mother is the primary parent and she's been doing all the things for all along, it's kind of hard to break free of that. But you also as a mother have to know your boundaries and know like when to cut the cord, like ma'am.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
That's the problem that we're talking about. But not only that, but like you also should be paying attention. If he doesn't get along with anybody in his family, that's a red flag. If they're always blaming everyone else, that is a red flag. Listen, if you don't feel right about it in your spirit, you're probably right. Yeah, I dated someone that had problems with everyone, and it was always their fault until I found out that it wasn't.
Narcissist. I'm sorry. Did I say it?
It was everybody's. It was always someone else's fault. Like there was, I was hard pressed to find a situation that he was like, I fucked up.
Red flag.
Even if he ever said he made a mistake in a situation, it would be, I made a mistake, but if they hadn't, if she hadn't, if he hadn't, it was always someone else's fault. And let me tell you something. This is a red flag that I did definitely recognize and opted to ignore because I was already emotionally tied to the situation. But I definitely saw it. And I used to be like, ugh. And it made me uneasy.
Yeah.
And I questioned it. I mean, listen, I know y'all know I don't have a personality of a be quiet kind of person. So I did question these things, but, you know, ultimately I would just let a lot of these things go or excuse away the behavior because of other things. But anyway, the point is, if it's always somebody else's fault, it's probably not.
Exactly.
Probably not.
It's probably you, Robert. Robert, it's you.
Robert, it's all your fault.
Take accountability. Okay, Robert? Yeah.
And if you don't want a man or a woman with children, this is not a red flag. but it is a hindrance.
It can be.
And it might be something you can get over.
I think you can. So it's like you just
Jesus Christ. This is according to the party goers. This is not
according
my
to the party goers. Absolutely. Thank you, party goers. I didn't say their name right. I think this vodka is hitting. Anywho, no, for real. Children definitely can be a hindrance. Whether I think for me, I don't mind if a person has children, right? I think I mind the way that they operate with their children, and that can be a hindrance for me. If you lack being a part of their lives, or even if it was a friend that is just like always like cussing their kids out, mistreating them, abusing them, like abusive, that would be a hindrance for me to build a relationship with you, because why would I want to be around you? That's a one part that we could have connected on because we have children, but because you mistreat your kids, I wish I would bring my kids around you. What? Like, no, I ain't gonna be able. But yeah, that would be the hindrance for me. And like the level of your relationship, if you be like passive about it, like it don't matter if I see them or if I be with them, whatever, or I just send money, whatever, I don't care. Like I that would probably be a hindrance for me, because I'm like, how am I gonna add you to my life and you don't even do for your own? I need you to do over here, sir, and you ain't finna do over here, and you ain't doing over there. So yeah, no, I ain't gonna be able.
Baby, when I was dating way back in the day, like when my kids was little ones, I purposely did not date men with children, because I didn't want to. Even though I had children, I was cool with my kids' fathers as far as our parenting styles. We were co-parenting pretty decently together. It wasn't no drama, no leftover feelings, none of that type of stuff. And so I just didn't want to deal with baby mama drama.
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with any of that. And so I purposely only dated unattached men. And I was all of their first baby mamas. Anyway, the whole thing is I ended up having a third child because I was going out there looking for men that ain't had no daggone children.
Oh, dang.
So be careful. Don't do that either. But anyway, so now at this age, it's unlikely and it's a slim chance that a man is going to have no children. Right? I realized that. And so then I started saying, okay, I can deal. If he got kids, cool, wonderful. I do want to know that he's active and have a relationship with his children, but I don't want to date a man with children younger than 15. I was very, very, very sure about that because my children are grown.
You don't want to raise.
The Lord don't always send you the package in the box that you wanted it in.
No, he doesn't.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. Let's move on.
But he always sends you what you need when you need it. Anywho,
the way people express themselves. God damn it, we're moving along here.
I can't. The way people express themselves, yes.
This could be a problem if the way a person expresses or projects is in a disrespectful manner.
Absolutely.
If they're harsh in their tone, if they don't deliver messages with care, if you are not a cursor but they are, and it ruffles your feathers, that can be an issue. So we should be paying attention to how someone is speaking to you, conveying their messages to you. Because if the message is not delivered properly, sometimes you won't receive it. It's like if they send your package to the wrong address, you're not going to get it.
Absolutely like that. That's every time, I believe. Don't mm-mm. don't yell at me because I'm not hearing it. I want to smack you, and I don't want to. No, don't yell at me.
What's going on? Listen.
It puts me in a defensive type state. And I don't want to be in that state, and I'm not really hearing what you're really saying because I'm on defense. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying attention to what you're saying because I'm like, let me hear the key words that you're trying to, and with you, okay? Because I'm feeling froggy.
Okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But no, I try not, whatever. De-escalation is key now. But no, for real, like I think that that speaks a lot to how somebody expresses themselves. And it kind of ties into like the lack of control, right? You have to be careful about how they are and what their tone is, and if they do it to their mama, baby, they gonna do it to you most likely. But also, I guess to each situation varies. I feel like I don't know because they could really have a tumultuous relationship with their mother, and then they don't with you, and they find peace and safety with you, and So I don't know, but you need to pay attention to the shit. I don't know what else to tell you. Just watch them.
Shit, we could almost wrap it up with that. Just watch them. I mean,
pay attention to all things.
Pay attention to all the things, but especially more importantly, and to sum up what the party goer said, you cannot expect you from others. Just because this is the way you would move and this is the way that you would do things doesn't necessarily mean that it's a red flag. It could be a red flag that you're expecting everyone to be like you. You could be the one that's waving the red flag in this situation if you're expecting everybody to think and move and be how you are. It's just not realistic. And no one is perfect, so you could stand to learn a few things from someone else as well, because maybe the way you've been doing things is not, perfect. So
exactly. Be open.
But in this, what I think they're saying is that just because you would give someone the last French fry on your plate doesn't necessarily mean that that person wants to give their last French fry.
I agree. Because just generous don't mean
them French fries could be good. They might want that last day I got damn French. They was savoring, waiting to the end.
And
that last French fry. Here you come. No, you cannot have my cornbread.
That part. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you cannot expect everybody to have the same response that you're going to have to situations. And you should allow people grace to have the response that they have, to feel what they feel, to move the way that they move. Yeah. If it doesn't work for you, then cool, get it, got it. But you can't make somebody do it your way, because then that's going to be a whole other type of toxicity.
Jesus. If you would have told Portia that 10 years ago, I probably would be better off today. But, you live and you learn. Okay.
I was watching Basketball Wives. Yes, I watched that. I love trash TV.
Me too.
And Shawnee Henderson now, sorry.
She on the new season?
She's doing guest spots.
Okay.
She's showing up. They also have a new show.
Yeah, I saw at Miami. No, not Miami.
Orlando. Okay. Anyway, y'all, this is not about the show. Anyway, on the Basketball Wives LA, she was being awarded for Woman of the Year or something. I don't know, something like that. And in her speech, She said that she used to say that something about if she knew some things in the moment, she would have moved a different way or whatever. And she said, but now I say that you should live in the moment and not be so quick to ignore this moment. Basically, she was saying that if I had known this in this moment, I would have did something different. But now she's saying, I don't believe that anymore. Sometimes you just need to enjoy the moment. And the only point that I'm making about that is that what you thought 10 years ago or how you moved 10 years ago made you who you are today. So don't discount that life before today. Appreciate all the lessons you learned along the way, because it got us to this moment to have this conversation, to be able to pass it down to someone else and give someone else advice, hopefully that they don't have to go through the things that we went through. So your journey is important.
It is important. Yes. 2 snaps for Tam. Yes.
Oh, shit. Well, we gotta pray to Shawnee for that. But anyway.
No, but that's so true, because I think we get so caught up in hindering ourselves with mistakes or actions that we have done in the past, that we hinder ourselves from the present moments. And my therapist speaks towards that all the time. Like, you're so caught up in the past and what has happened, and you're so focused in the future for something greater to happen that you don't pay attention to the current now. Yeah, so it's the same thing. But yeah, it's a work in progress. See, I'm hindering myself by staying focused on things that was happening in the past. But like you said, it helped me get to this point. Without those things happening on my timeline, I probably wouldn't be at this point, at this particular time in my life. So, it's never too late. It's never too late. And everything happens at an appointed time when you are ready to receive, when you need it, and all of that. So I appreciate that. I needed to hear that, so I don't hinder myself. No more.
Do not hinder yourself. And also, to Portia, just when you were talking and I heard the babies in the background, and I thought, God, if you had learned that lesson 10 years ago.
Hello?
You would hear the babies in the background.
Hello? You better say it.
So, thank God for all the hurt, the mistakes, because it made us greater. It gave us those blessings, those babies.
Yes.
If I hadn't, wasted time with their daddies, I wouldn't have nobody to cut the damn grass. And yes, I hadn't cut the grass today. Somebody came over here and was talking about
you don't pay no damn rent, so that's good.
We gotta cut the damn grass. You gotta cut the grass.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I had much more to say, but I don't think we need to, because I think our party goers
did it all.
Summed up everything that I was thinking and more, and we were able to really dig into that. And we already told you guys to make a list. Pay attention to the things that are important to you. Take those little life lessons and make mental notes. Write it down, whatever you need to do, so that going forward in the future, you know what you're looking for.
Yes.
You know what you want in a relationship, so then you will know the things that show up as red flags or hindrances, like alcoholism.
I don't care what you say.
That drink was good. It was good to the last drop. She was like, I'm about to drink this thing. Right?
Oh, God. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us today. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And let us know what things you'd like to hear from us in the future. If there are any topics you'd like to discuss, etc., you can email us at T&P to ask all your burning questions and show topics. be on the lookout for our subscriber-only events. And we do have events coming up. We're having a costume party. If you want to know more about that, you can email us at tmp@the.afterpartypod.com. We'll be back with another episode in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us again. P, you want to say anything?
Nope. Y'all be good out there. Don't let nothing hinder you.
Oh, I like it. Don't let nothing hinder you. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.